successive Nova Scotia governments to preserve Province House, most recently with the exterior renovations.
And this is our oldest book, 1488. And this publishing began in Nova Scotia for Canada, and this was the first newspaper in Canada, the Halifax Gazette.
That's still going?
1752. No, it's changed its name. It's gone. And that was the first magazine in 1759.
Very fortunate to have kept.
Oh yes, our collection is very, very old. And this is one of our treasures, actually. This is the handwritten journals of the house in 1758, and that was of course, the first assembly of elected representatives in Canada.
So it was all kept by hand?
Yes, and indexed by the Speaker at the time, Richard John Uniacke, so he had that extra duty. And this was the proclamation calling for an election in 1758, and it was published by the King's printer at the time. And we consider this to be maybe the first book published in Canada because of the length. It's the Revised Statutes of Nova Scotia, and published in 1767. And this was just charging Anthony Henry to be the King's printer at the time. Now we're a functioning library. We try and serve the information needs of the members, and we have computers, as you can see, and so it's quite a mix, actually.
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
It's safe to say that the Speaker would know. The Speaker is the legislative librarian, Ms. Margaret Murphy, and certainly those of us who have over the years toiled in the press gallery at the Nova Scotia Legislature can tell you that there would be very little about the library and the building that Margaret Murphy would not know.
She knows a great deal about it. It's a terrific tour she's conducting there.
Indeed. The Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh now proceeding toward the Red Chamber, which is, at least in my view, the most lovely chamber of Province House, formerly the Senate and the Supreme Court of Nova Scotia, and now a lovely red room which contains many, many artifacts of a very historic nature, including two very lovely thrones at one end of the chamber. One of those thrones dating back many, many years, the other dating back to that royal visit we spoke of earlier in 1939, when the Queen's father, King George VI, and the Queen Mother, Queen Elizabeth, visited Nova Scotia.
And Steve the Duke now greeting the members of the legislature. Just spoke with Ross Bragg there. Dr. Ron Stewart now extending greetings. And as the Duke continues to make his way along the line of the members of the legislature, we're going to take a break.
Indeed we are, but of Queen and country, a maritime welcome, the royal visit. Our live coverage continues here on ATV in just a moment.
Her Majesty and His Royal Highness visited Halifax in 1976. Fortunately, I'm able to enjoy this even more.
And the Queen is now signing the official guest book of the province of Nova Scotia, which would contain many, many significant signatures, but certainly historically and politically none more significant than the signature of the reigning monarch. Interesting story about the Red Chamber, and certainly perhaps one of the stories that contributes to the folklore of the Nova Scotia legislature is the presence of two headless eagles over the door of the office of the clerk of Province House. Originally, both of those eagles had heads, but they were summarily removed by sword by an angry Nova Scotia politician who bristled at the thought and suggestion and possibility that Nova Scotia might somehow be annexed by the United States. Hence, those eagles are today headless.
I believe it was with the end of his cane that he dispatched their heads.
Was it the cane and not the sword? Well, very effective, whatever the implement, Paul.
And the heads have not been replaced.
They have remained headless for many years.
And we've apparently just lost a view of Her Majesty inside the house, and she'll be leaving, of course, very shortly and making her way to Government House.
She will, and we should also mention once again that for the next 48 hours, Her Majesty will be here in Nova Scotia. Then she will continue on to the western part and the northern part of the nation. She'll open the Commonwealth Games in Victoria and then pay very historic and significant visits to northern communities. So it's a coast-to-coast affair, coast to coast to coast.
Yes, and the folks in Sydney are going to enjoy seeing the royal couple tomorrow. And then, of course, on Monday, I think this is quite interesting that Her Royal Majesty and His Highness will be making their way across the Halifax Harbour.
By boat.
By ferry.
Yeah.
And there is an invitation extended to yacht clubs in the area. I think you have to remain outside of a perimeter about 50 meters away.
That's right. And they were painting the ferries the other day. I was down at dockside. They were making the area look very lovely for Her Majesty.
Somewhat
That's good to
reminiscent
hear.
of the royal visit in 1983 of the Prince and Princess of Wales, when the grass in the Halifax Commons was deemed to be not quite green enough, so they painted it as well.
Well, actually, I've heard several people today mentioning how good the downtown core looks right now. Obviously, a lot of improvements and touch-ups have been in the workings the past few days.
Streets have never been cleaner. You could eat off the streets of Halifax on this day.
You
But
bet.
we won't.
We won't. We will take a break at this point. We will continue our live coverage of Queen and Country. A maritime welcome to Her Majesty the Queen and His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh in just a moment. Majesty the Queen and His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh continues. We want to take a moment now for the benefit of those who are viewing us this afternoon from Sydney to bring you up to date on exactly what the royal movements will be tomorrow, because certainly we know a large number of people in Cape Breton will want to extend a warm maritime welcome of their own to our Queen and her consort tomorrow. The day begins at 10 a.m. tomorrow when the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh will leave Government House down the street on Barrington Street in Halifax. They'll return by car to Canadian Forces Base Shearwater. They're scheduled to arrive at the base at about 10:30 in the morning. They'll be greeted there by the Premier of Nova Scotia, by Base Commander Colonel J.M. Cody, and then the Queen, the Duke of Edinburgh, Mr. and Mrs. Savage will depart from Shearwater for Sydney, with an expected arrival at Sydney Airport at approximately 11:10 tomorrow morning. There will be a brief official ceremony there involving Paul McEwen, Speaker of the Nova Scotia Legislature, and also the MLA for Cape Breton Nova. And then the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh with the Premier and Mrs. Savage will leave by car for Centre 200. There is a very, very large and what promises to be a very, very inspirational church service at Centre 200 tomorrow. It is an interdenominational service, and the Duke of Edinburgh will have an official role in the service. We understand that the Duke will read a lesson there tomorrow morning. Now, at the conclusion of the service tomorrow, the Queen and the Duke will proceed back to the auditorium, and there they will have a brief ceremony before proceeding to Fortress of Louisbourg outside Sydney. And certainly this promises to be an historic visit by the monarch for many, many reasons. Of course, Fortress Louisbourg, a magnificent restoration and recreation of the original French fortress, which was established there oh so many years ago. But beyond that, Fortress Louisbourg of Cape Breton was at one time the French stronghold in Port Royal and in Isle Royale, which was, of course, the French name for Cape Breton. And so this is really a meeting, I suppose, of some historical significance with the Queen of Canada, the Queen of England, touring what was once a fortress of great importance to the French king. At this point, we want to take a moment and introduce you to someone who's had a very, very special day today. One of three people who have presented flowers to Her Majesty the Queen.
Come here, please.
Like many Maritimers, Tony Bree-Nash was out playing in the sunshine yesterday. But unlike most, she was also getting ready to rub elbows with royalty.
Nancy, this is what I'm going to wear.
Oh, what a lovely dress. And what else have you got there?
I've got lacy gloves that I don't wear too often.
And lovely shoes. Well, in case you hadn't guessed, Tony is going to be presenting a bouquet of flowers to the Queen. Are you excited?
Very, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
I guess it is. So how were you chosen to do this?
I was chosen by luck of the draw.
Oh, well, that's a good answer. You've been briefed exactly about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Can you give us an idea?
Well, okay, the Queen's going to come out of the airplane and she's going to go down the greeting line full of all these important people. And then she's going to come at the end of the line where I am, and I'm going to give her the bouquet of flowers, a curtsy.
Curtsy? Have you been practicing?
Not really.
Show me. I want to see this curtsy.
Okay.
Very nice. All right, what happens then?
Then she's probably going to talk to me a little bit, you know. And then she's probably going to go down the line to her limo, and I'm going to shake hands with Prince Philip.
Do you think they'll invite you to come over and visit them at Buckingham Palace?
No.
Both Tony's mom and dad serve in the Canadian Armed Forces. He's Navy, she's Army, and they're almost as excited as Tony is.
I'm very excited for her because she loves this. She loves this kind of thing, so I love it for her.
She's going to do an excellent job.
When you say it, it seems like, oh, it's nothing, you know. But when you actually do it, you can't really believe it, you know. Like, I'm giving flowers to the Queen, you know. It's surprising.
And indeed, she did do an excellent job. Tony Bree-Nash, one of 2 young Maritime children who today presented flowers to Her Majesty the Queen. Now, not everyone has had an opportunity to be that close to the monarch, but ATV's Paul Meunier is standing by live now with some people who have had a wee brush with royalty, Paul.
Indeed, Nancy and I have been talking to this crowd of people along Hollis Street, right in front of the legislature. I guess we're all waiting for the Queen to make her exit and head to Government House. Did you see the Queen arrive?
Yes.
What's your name?
Erin.
And what'd you think?
Well, it's crowded.
Yeah, did you get a good close look at her, though?
We were over there, so it wasn't really close.
But I think you got a great position here for when she comes out at the legislature. How about you?
I was over there with her.
Yeah?
I could kind of see her. I saw her pink suit.
What'd you think of her outfit?
Really nice.
It was really nice, wasn't it? How about you?
Nice for being 93.
Yeah. Now, have you seen a royal visit before, or is this your first?
First.
So what are your impressions of the, you know, the crowds and the pomp and the circumstance?
Lots of crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about you, ma'am?
Well, I'm not even I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, you're a visitor.
Really going to be a...
Did you know that Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II would be here on this day? Ah. So you kind of planned your vacation around it, or?
Of course. Naturally. What else?
I hope you got some pictures.
I will get some.
Hi, what's your name?
Amy.
Did you see the Queen?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's fun.
Yeah. And now, have you got lots of pictures of the Queen at home? Have you been following the royal family? So this is really your first encounter with royalty.
Yeah.
Very impressive, isn't it? Yeah. And you must be her mom?
No, grandmother.
Ah,
Yeah.
whoa, okay. Oh, what'd you
It's a
think?
dream for her. I have her up here on vacation the first time away from Sydney.
Ah,
and I seen her when I was 8 years old. So it's another dream come true.
Really? Tell us a
I'm
bit about
excited
that
to see it
that
again.
moment. You must have fairly clear memories of
Pretty
it.
young then. I remember
Yeah?
standing by Holy Angels convent
Yeah.
and watching her coming down, and I could never forget the day of the car and the dress, same as the beautiful hat. Oh,
Yeah.
pictures on. It's a dream.
Yeah,
It
it really is. Well, she'll be out in a few more moments, so I'm just going to get out of your way and talk to some more people. You, I understand. Let me get your name, first of all.
Jane,
You performed for another royal visit. Tell us a little bit about that.
that was in 1976. She was in Nova Scotia, and it was at Katie University.
And you were in the choir, I guess, huh?
That's correct.
And I guess the pressure is on not to hit any sour notes. And
That's exactly. I was in James Allenbach's school choir.
now, did you get an opportunity to meet Her Majesty, or were you just performing and then watching from afar?
Not up close, but she was down below and we were on the hill, sort of, so we were a little distance away.
So I think you're a little closer this time around then,
I
huh?
think so, yes.
Well, that's terrific. And she'll be out in a few moments, so we're going to let you watch. And I want to bring somebody else in here. Who else in this crowd has been to a royal visit or seen a royal visit before? We had a couple of people. Why don't you step on forward here, as this little tyke, I guess, is a little overwhelmed by it all at the moment. Whoops, sorry, I don't want to wake them up. Come on over, you other folks who have been to a royal visit, and we just want to compare notes, if you will, out here on Hollis Street. Hi, what's your name?
Mary Tanner.
And tell us about your previous encounter, or maybe you had more than one or two with the Queen.
Well, usually I just see them driving by, but it's always a thrill to see the real thing, not see it on TV, just to see it yourself.
Yeah. So this is the closest you've been to the Queen, I take it, on this date?
Today, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, ma'am?
Yes, lovely.
You've been to a previous royal?
Yes, many times.
Tell me, what was the last one, I guess? 1976?
Yes,
Oh.
probably, yeah.
Any abroad, or have they always,
No,
you've been
no,
out at all the
here.
Canadian ones?
Always here, yeah.
What would be your fondest memory of a royal visit?
I think probably the first one that I saw was the most exciting because I hadn't seen it before.
And this one ranks up there, though? I mean, because this is fresh in your mind.
They're all great. They're all great.
What did you think of the Queen's outfit? She looked terrific,
She
didn't
looked beautiful, beautiful. Nice looking woman.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us. We're going to get out of your way, let you see the Queen, who will be making her exit from Province House in just a few moments. Nance, you've been talking to some other folks down here. There's still a lot of excitement. It's late in the day, but these people are hanging in.
That's right, and you know, I'm sort of thrilled to see the small children who are really excited. I mean, it's not very often you get a chance to see a queen, after all.
My heart's still aflutter. It was very impressive for me. It was my first encounter with royalty, folks. It was pretty neat. I know what you all mean now. Let's go back to Steve, and we're going to talk to some of the other folks around here. Steve?
Thank you, Paul and Nancy. Of course, a royal encounter is always something of an experience, but isn't it interesting to hear how some of our American neighbors, whose history, after all, involves a very, very strict and deliberate and violent split from the monarchy, are still so enchanted by the royals, and in particular by our Queen. Of Queen and Country, ATV's live coverage of the royal visit to Halifax continues in just a moment. We are expecting the Queen to be departing Province House shortly. We'll have that for you when we come back. Anxiously awaiting the departure from Province House of Her Majesty the Queen and His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh, and that is in fact what we are awaiting at this hour. The Queen has had a tour of historic Province House, which has just been designated as a National Historic Site. It has always been a provincial historic treasure, but now its place in Canadian history finally and officially recognized by its designation today under the hand of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. We wish to reiterate that this will conclude the Queen's official activities in Nova Scotia today. The day resumes for Her Majesty tomorrow morning at 10, when she and the Duke will proceed by motorcade back to Shearwater. Then it is on to the Fortress of Louisbourg in Cape Breton after the interfaith service at Centre 200 in Sydney tomorrow. Earlier I did not pass along the time for the Queen and the Duke to arrive at Louisbourg. The scheduled time is 12:55 tomorrow. So once again, that is 12:55 tomorrow for the arrival of the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh at historic Fortress Louisbourg, Cape Breton. My colleagues Paul and Nancy are standing by now at Province House. Paul, Nancy.
Oh, the Queen's coming out soon? Are you excited about that?
Say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. On cue, not bad. You must know this little girl.
Oh, yes, this is my granddaughter,
And
Samantha.
yes, and
Samantha Gracie.
of course. Hi, Mrs. Gracie.
Hi, Paul. We've got three generations
Yeah,
here.
my
This is
daughter.
great.
So what do you think? This is pretty neat, huh?
This is great. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. This may be the only time she gets to see Queen Elizabeth, maybe.
Hard to say. You just never know. Now, you were telling me that you weren't even going to come down here today.
Well, actually, I was afraid of the crowds and such, and all the men stayed home. So we came down, though, and it was so well organized that we got a great spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
So do you have a camera with you, Andre? Or?
We didn't leave all the men at home. We got one royal male watcher.
Oh, hi. What do you think?
Fun?
Good. Good ventriloquism job there by Andre Gracie. And hi, what's your name?
Ken.
Ken, you were telling me a moment ago that you've been following the Queen for some time now. The whole royal family, right?
The whole royal family, yeah. I came here 25 years ago, and the Queen Mother, when she opened the World Trade Center up there, I seen that. And when Margaret was here to present the colours, and now this is the greatest in my life to see the Queen Elizabeth herself.
I think it's been very exciting for all of us today. And Nance, what do you think? This is really something else.
Sure is. I've got another very loyal
Oops,
royal
sorry.
watcher here.
I just
What's
banged the
your name?
camera.
Where are you from?
Jane Hines, not from Wolfville.
Jean, you've been watching the royal family for as long as you can remember, haven't you? You've been watching the royal family for as long as you can remember, haven't you?
I certainly most have, because my mother is English, and she was a child war evacuee. And of course, they all, since they came over, and we were brought up with the British ideals.
Do you have a lot of memorabilia at home from the royal family?
Most certainly do. I have a coronation program, which was given to me by a very close friend, and it's super.
And hopefully you're going to add to your collection of memorabilia today. You've got your camera.
I've got my camera.
I would think that the people who develop film around Nova Scotia are going to be very, very busy in the coming days as all the people here who with the cameras take that film in to be developed. And enjoy the rest of the Queen's visit. She'll be coming out momentarily. You know, it's kind of interesting that we were talking earlier to Mr. Hubley, John Hubley, I think, who was at the coronation. You've got the program from that event. He said he was with the Canadian Navy in the regiment that was there to take part in the ceremonies, and he said his memory of it was that his hand was very, very sore from holding the rifle all day long.
I'm not surprised at all.
Right now, let's go back to Steve. I think the Queen's just about to come out here, Steve.
Yes, we're expecting Your Majesty to depart Province House shortly. I think you have an excellent point, Paul, about the photo developers. Business is likely to be booming. And some of the photographs being developed may look very much like this. There is Her Majesty the Queen with a final few words for Speaker Paul McEwen, Speaker of the Legislature, as she and His Royal Highness depart historic Province House. And from here, the Queen will return to her automobile and be driven to Government House, residence of Lieutenant Governor and Mrs. Jim Kinley. The Kinleys have given up Province House for the next couple of days. They'll be staying at the Sheraton Hotel down the street so that Her Majesty and His Royal Highness may use Government House along with their various attendants. The staff of pages of Province House. A final word from her Canadian Premier, Nova Scotia Premier John Savage, before Her Majesty enters her automobile for her motorcade back to Government House. And again, a large appreciative crowd signaling their satisfaction and pleasure with their monarch. Clearly, it has been an afternoon well worth waiting for, well worth planning. And I think Andre Gracie, formerly Andre Delaney of ATV News, made a very good point when she said a few moments ago that this has been very, very well organized, and certainly many Maritimers have had an opportunity to see their Queen as she waves a final goodbye from Province House in Halifax. The security measures this afternoon have been very extensive and not the least bit obtrusive. Many excellent viewing opportunities for Nova Scotians and Maritimers this afternoon. And certainly one would expect that Her Majesty and His Royal Highness have had a very pleasant afternoon, a very pleasant day weather-wise. As a matter of fact, the clouds, the high overcast, moved in at just the appropriate moment to cool the air and make for a very pleasant afternoon not far from the waterfront.
Well, Steve, the people that we spoke with just a few moments ago are getting a tremendous view of Her Royal Majesty and His Highness right now. Look at that. And that street's pretty crowded.
It certainly is. Again, a lot of people have stayed behind this afternoon for a final glimpse at the Queen as she proceeds to Government House on Barrington Street, which is the residence of the Vice Regal Representative, the Lieutenant Governor of Nova Scotia. And there tonight, it will be the residence of the monarch, a regal residence for the next 48 hours or so. Incidentally, it is not always that the monarch or members of the royal family will stay in Government House. On the last visit to this area by the Prince and Princess of Wales and by the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, the Royal Yacht Britannia served as home and headquarters.
It has been a day to remember, no question about it.
We have some images to leave you with today of a remarkable afternoon, beginning with the arrival of Her Majesty the Queen at CFB Shearwater and continuing down through the streets of Halifax this afternoon. And we'd like to share these with you as we leave, with our sincere thanks, obviously, to everyone who has worked on our broadcast this afternoon, a crack team of technicians, sound engineers, television engineers, TVAs, our producer Mark Campbell, director Jocelyn Murphy, our executive producer Bill Patrick, and our entire ATV News team. Just a great job this afternoon, and particular thanks to our camera operators who have gotten you some magnificent images of our Queen and Prince Philip.
I think I can speak for all of us when I say it has indeed been very exciting for us to pass along these pictures to you.
It certainly has, and in many respects, I think the pictures are worth millions of words. It has been a wonderful afternoon, and we thank you for sharing it with us. So now for my colleagues Paul Meunier and Nancy Regan, I'm Steve Murphy. Thank you and good afternoon.
Bye-bye.
The Maritime's most thorough newscast doesn't take the weekend off.
The ATV Evening News Weekend.